you're here. Hi, how are you?
Taught me dancing in a hurry. I had a week
Today, what's going on here? The DeMarco sisters. Let me get right in the middle. I have a compliment for you. Everyone said that you were the most popular girls last week, and they wanted to know whether you were coming back tonight. And I said they certainly are. Now, they asked me something else about you. They want to know which one is the oldest.
She is.
I tell you, I'll word it differently. Which one is the youngest?
I am.
See, I'm going to get nowhere in a hurry. I don't really care what age you are. I'd like to have all 5 ages sing a song, will you? Good.
I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was humming a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of that orange-colored view, flash, bam, alakazam, I gotta look at you. One look and I yelled timber, watch out for flying glass. 'Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went in and was spinning, I started to shout, I've been hit. This is it, I see it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. I was walking along, just minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. I love him because he's, I don't know, because he's just my flash, bam, alakazam, out of a purple stripe, pretty green polka dot and orange on the sky. My alakazam, and goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Don't play, please, Sammy, because I promised to show this nice young man in the navy blue suit how to tango in time for tonight's party. And if you will give me 1 minute, I'll teach you how to tango, too, because the tango is such an easy dance to learn. If you can count up to 5, you can tango. You see, the ladies love it, and the men would love to tango, but they're afraid it's for experts. And it isn't. This, for example, is one of the most popular steps in tango. It's called the promenade done to the side, and I'll show you the man's part first. It just is side, cross, and 1, 2, 3. I'll do that again. Side, cross, and 1, 2, 3. Once more to make sure you know it, and if you haven't gotten up yet, come on, get up. Side, cross, and 1, 2, 3. You think you have it? Shall I do it once more for you? All right. If you haven't gotten started yet, hurry up. With the left foot, the man's part, side, cross, and 1, 2, 3. I'll show you how it looks with a partner. Would you try it with me, the same step? Could we have some music, Sammy, please? Just the same step. Now, wasn't that easy? Now, I'll let you see how the teachers look doing that step and some other very simple tango steps. See if you can pick a few up. Ready? you pronounce tango.
Oh, tango.
But don't you look swish and pretty with a lovely dress, isn't
Oh,
you?
no, this old thing. I've had it since this morning.
Oh, well, it's still in style, Jean.
Well, you know, I got dressed up for your house party.
Oh, good.
Look, get a load of this. Looks like a stomach. It isn't. It's the dress. Honest, I'll tell you about it. See, I didn't want this. I was only looking. You ever try only looking? You're lucky to come out alive. You know that, don't you? Well, I'll tell you how I got the dress. You see, I walked into the store. Well, I didn't exactly walk in. There was a hook helping me. So when I got into the store, I said to the girl, what's the size of the dress in the window? She says, it'll fit you. I said, well, what size is it? A 10, a 12? She said, it's your size. Take it. That dress was made for you. I didn't even know I was going to be in the neighborhood. She made a dress for me. Well, I said, after looking at it, I don't think the lines are right for me. My legs are too short. She said, nonsense. They reach the floor, don't they? Well, I said, I'd like to know the price of the dress. She says, don't worry, we'll get together. I said, I'm not looking for a merger. I want to know the price of the dress. She said, what's the difference? I'll sell it to you at cost. I said, how can you sell at cost? She said, I'll buy below cost. I said, well, what is the price? She says, what's the difference? I hope I never live if I don't lose money on every dress I sell. I said, how can you lose money and stay in business? She says, easy. I fooled around with the books. Well, I said, I'll tell you the truth. The dress doesn't send me. She said, who sent for you? You know, I don't need customers to aggravate me. We don't use pressure in the store. The door's open. You don't like the dress? Try it on. If you don't like that dress, I'll give you the store. Well, I figured I'd be in partners. It was a nice proposition. I tried it on. She said, it's stunning. One word, stunning. That dress is you. That dress is you. Any other dress would be somebody else, but that dress is you. I said, well, if this is me, I'll take you. She said, why, you don't like this? This dress, you don't like this? It's Mrs. B. They have hidden witnesses in the back. Mrs. B, come here. I want an honest opinion. Forget that I own the store, that you're my best friend. Give me an honest opinion. You never saw in your life. Tell the truth. Isn't that her? You know, they convinced me I was me in that store that afternoon. Well, I said, I really wanted something in blue. She said, blue isn't your color. I said, why not? She said, because we haven't got any. Well, I said, then how about something in satin to match my eye? She said, we have no bloodshot satin in stock. Well, I said, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring my husband down and have him look at it. She says, Jenny, look who's married. I said, why, don't you think that I could possibly have a husband? She said, of course. A husband you could always find. A dress like this is hard to get. Well, I said, now, look, you're really wearing me down, but it isn't what I want. I wanted something more casual for golf. She said, why, that's a perfect dress for golf. You'd be surprised how sporty that'll look with sneakers. Well, listen, I don't know. It's possible that could be the style because today everything is different. Styles and everything have changed. For example, bringing up a child, child psychology. Today there's a new thing with child psychology. You want to hit your kid because he's a monster, you got to read a book first, find out if you get permission to hit him, you see. Because a fellow was never even married. He wrote a book. He's depriving you of one of life's greatest pleasures, hitting children. See, and I know because I love kids. I used to go to school with them. As a matter of fact, I come from a large family, and we have a family of midgets because my mother was a hitter. Whatever you asked her, she'd hit you. Say, Mom, hungry, so eat. And listen, I got a brother, 8 years old, never lived to be 9. This kid is such a monster. Eh? He loves these Western pictures. 8 o'clock Sunday morning, my mother makes him a little lunch, straps on his gun, says, go to the movies. He says, Ma, they don't open until 12. She says, be the first online. And she says, stay there till I come for you. Sometimes it takes a year. You know, you forget a little thing like this. This kid you could forget forever. So he sits all day in the movies, comes home at night. My mother says, eat your supper. He says, I ain't a hankering for no fawful. I got another brother. He went to see these gangster pictures. You know, saw Jimmy Cagney in White Heat 12 times. Walked around the house calling my father Warden. In the morning, my mother says, eat your breakfast, eat your oatmeal. He says, I ain't eating that stuff. I'm busting out of this joint. And you know, these Western pictures, I like them myself, but you know, the plot always amuses me, because always Gary Cooper, He is the sheriff. He blows into town. No horse, strong wind. And the minute this guy blows into town, they hang a badge on him and they say, clean up the town. Well, this kid, he cleans up the town. He gets the pail and the mop and he goes to work. The first thing he does, he gets the bandit, see, who has been giving the people a hard time, and he says, listen, did you ever notice how Gary talks with the clenched teeth? If he ever opens them, I don't know what'll jump out, but it's always like this, see? He says, this town ain't big enough to hold the two of us. Have you ever seen these movies? Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, thousands of miles of cactus plants, dogs running around looking for people. This town is never big enough for these two schmoes. One of them has got to get out. So he gives them 24 hours to get. Well, he gets. Takes the money from the bank, gets the money from the stagecoach, kills a few people to make it interesting, and he takes off. Well, see, this fella, this bandit, has lived in this part of the country all his life. He knows every crevice, every nook, every cranny. Now, the sheriff has never been in this part of the country in his life. And he takes off after the bandit, and he knows the shortcut. And I love those songs that they sing, riding along on their broncos. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where never is heard a discouraging word, 'cause what can an antelope say? You know, it doesn't matter. Style is unimportant. The important thing is that you enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by quickly as the wink. Enjoy, enjoy. It's later than you think. It's later, much later. It's later than you think.
We salute the pupils who were chosen as the most popular students in their own Arthur Murray School. And this week, our pupils of the week are from Baltimore, Mr. and Mrs. Christopher. Hi, how are you? Are you thrilled at being chosen pupils of the week?
How's that?
Are you thrilled at being chosen pupils of the week?
Are.
Oh, good. Well, we're thrilled to have you here. And you are going to get a year's supply of Arthur Murray guaranteed nylons. Not for you. You can admire them. They're going to be for Mrs. Christopher. You know, they're called guaranteed because Arthur stands in back of every pair. Are you ready for a year of that? Right. And Ben Russ has sent you each a watch. You are going to have an embraceable watch. Doesn't that sound cozy?
Wonderful.
Oh, lovely. And you are going to have a calendar watch. Now, a calendar watch does all sorts of things. I mean, Mr. Ben Russ comes out and says to you it's Monday and so forth and so on, and you know the time and the day and when to go to Arthur Murray's. And I'll give them to you in a few minutes, right after we've had a chance to chat. Because I only know you as Mr. and Mrs. Christopher and that you come from Baltimore. I don't know your first name. What is it?
My first name is Virgil, Mrs. Murray.
Virgil. You're not
Yeah.
kidding.
I'd like to forget it, though.
Virgil. It reminds me of Latin in high school. Let's see, what do I know of Latin? M-O, M-A, S-M-A. Well, that was nice, too. I love having you here, Virgil.
Thank you.
That was a pun. You could have laughed. How did you happen to go to Arthur Murray's?
Well, to tell you the truth, I went there under force. My wife practically dragged me in the studio.
You did? Mm-hmm. With this strong right arm? Would you lend me that arm? We'd like to have a lot of husbands come in. I like that sort of thing. Are you glad you went?
Just tickled to death.
Are you glad he went, too?
I certainly am.
Does he take you dancing more often now?
He hardly ever misses.
Oh, well, good. That's a very good recommendation. Then you are glad that you went in. What do you like about it?
Well, in addition to the dancing, which is terrific and marvelous, in our Baltimore studio, there's just a certain feeling of friendliness and a friendly atmosphere which carries through all the way from Mrs. Irwin right down through the staff and the pupils of the Baltimore studio.
You know, if you hadn't said Mrs. Irwin, you probably would never get another lesson there. Tell me, do I call you Virgil?
Yes, you may.
Tell me, Virgil. Oh, isn't that nice? My name's Catherine.
Thank you.
What is your business?
I sell jukeboxes.
You sell jukeboxes?
You know, phonographs.
Oh, I know what a jukebox is. I was trying to think of a joke on juke. The only thing I can think of is that if you have a record-breaking week, would that be good or bad?
Terrific.
Tell me, what is your favorite dance?
Samba.
Samba. Would you do a samba for us?
Be glad.
All right,
to.
I'll take your stockings out and you do a samba. the mystery for you. We're going to do a dance, and if you can guess the name of it, and you write the right name on a penny postcard and mail it to your nearest Arthur Murray studio, you will get a certificate that is good for 2 private lessons in any dance that you'd like to learn. You can give the certificate away for Christmas or a birthday, but if I were you, I'd use it myself. Now watch for the mystery dance. Postcard and mail it before tomorrow night to the nearest Arthur Murray studio and get your certificate for 2 lessons. Are you having fun over there, by the way? Are you having fun?
Oh,
See, I'm so nervous and excited because we have a Hollywood movie star here tonight, and that's enough to make a girl nervous. And girls, I have news for you. He is a tough character. He's one of those biff 'em around guys, you know? Biff bam, alakazam. Chester.
Oh.
Come on out. You know, I'm really so thrilled to be standing next to you because I'm even interrupting you.
Well, you're very sweet, Catherine, but you're confusing me with somebody else. You see,
No.
I'm Chester Morris, the magician.
Now, look, I would know that jaw anywhere, and I remember what you do with your eyebrow. You are Chester Morris, the movie star.
No. I've been confused many times with Chester Morris, but I'm the magician.
You can't confuse me. I know you are Chester Morris, all right.
Well, Catherine, I'm only telling you the truth. I'm
now,
very flattered.
Look, I remember the big house. I remember all sorts of things. I remember that wonderful character, Baltimore Blondie.
Baltimore Blondie? You
remember.
mean Boston Blackie?
Well, look, then you are Chester Morris, and I did find you.
Catherine, I confess, I'm Chester Morris.
Well, it's a good thing you confessed, because what they want to see you do is something from one of your pictures.
Oh,
now,
no, Catherine, no.
Oh,
you
now,
mean one of the
don't be
last
like
mile
that.
things with the warden?
Yes, will you do that right now?
Yeah,
I'd like you to do it right now. Will you do it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Do I have to?
Yes, Butch.
I'll do it. Sammy, may I have a little music, please? May I have quiet? Warden, you're making a great mistake. I didn't kill a guy. You're sending me to the chair for something I didn't do. I've been framed, I tell you, Warden. Framed! And if you send me to the hot seat, my wife and kids are going to starve. I didn't do it. I'll tell you why, Warden. Now, the first trick I want to show you is the little thing with the rope. It's for the rope. I've been interested in magic since I was 12 years old when my father presented me with a little $2.50 trick box. You know, one of those little things like that. And what I thought I'd do for you tonight was a little rope trick. It was the first trick I ever learned. And it's a simple little trick. All you have to do is take a rope and tie a knot in the end of it. I say it sounds simple, but it really isn't. You have to know a few moves. It's always the wrist to the right, never to the left. Now, all of you at home, if you have a piece of rope, you want to follow me with this thing? It's always to the right. Now, I'll show you what happens. If I turn my wrist to the left, I'll show you what happens, you see? Nothing. Now I'll do the trick, and I'll turn my wrist to the right, which is the way to do it, and I'll show you what happens. You see, nothing. Of course, I must confess that sometimes a magician is in a rather serious spot. I mean, the rope can be a little too long, it can be a little too short. And I think tonight, the rope is just a little too short. And there's only one thing to do, and that's stretch it. Sammy, may I have a little stretching music, please? This is a simple little trick. You'll get a lot of fun out of it, you know. It's tying a knot in the end of the rope. Always the wrist to the right. It's the first trick I ever learned. Anybody can do it, you know. It just requires a little bit of practice. I did it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you're never really a magician until you've produced a rabbit. I was all set to produce a rabbit this evening, but a rather unfortunate thing happened. Just before the show, my jacket was sent out to be pressed, and look... There's always a first on television, and tonight, for the first time on television, I'm going to produce a rabbit from an empty tube. Catherine, please. Sammy, may I have a little rabbit from an empty tube music, please? Ready? Empty tube. Hello, watching. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And with your kind indulgence, I'd like to give you my impression of a rather inebriated gentleman trying to roll a cigarette. May I have a little inebriation music, please, Sarah?
Here's a couple you know, and right now they're deciding on the people they're going to invite to that big holiday party they have every year. Now, they've gotten to your name. Let's listen.
Oh, darling, do we have to invite him?
Have to? Why, what's the matter? He's one of the nicest fellows I know.
Yes, and I suppose we should invite him to the party. Oh, but honestly, dear, he was such a wet blanket last year. You know, 3 girls came up to me and complained that he was unable to dance with them. You know, people who can't dance not only don't have fun at parties themselves, but they keep other people from having fun.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But let's go on and check
Yes,
our
that's
list here.
sad, but it's true, you know. If you're not a good dancer, then you're going to put a damper on that party for yourself and for others, too. And you know, that's very silly because, well, you can learn to dance so easily and so quickly the famous Arthur Murray way. Now, when you go into your nearest Arthur Murray studio, you'll get a friendly greeting from your teacher, and your teacher will analyze your dancing, tell you your bad points and your good points. You won't be under any obligation at all. If you decide you want to learn to dance the famous Arthur Murray way, you just put yourself in your teacher's hands. Let us take the responsibility of teaching you the Arthur Murray magic step, which is the secret of learning every other dance easily, quickly, and therefore at a very, very low cost. The holidays are nearly here, and you can learn to dance the famous Arthur Murray way in time for those holiday parties. So why don't you phone and make your appointment for the complimentary dance analysis? Phone your nearest Arthur Murray studio right now. There's an Arthur Murray teacher waiting to take your call.